Hi, good afternoon. I'm Mike Clark from My Property Power Team, and this is Rachel Clark from My Property Power Team. We're lucky enough to be interviewing Wendy Patton and Mark Jackson from Lease Options Made Simple. And basically, I'm glad I've got you both on the phone. Good afternoon. Or good morning, should I say,
Hello.
Wendy?
Yes. Good morning.
I should explain, Wendy's actually in the USA at the moment, and Mark's sat in his office, and we're sat in ours. So it's good to get you both together. I've got a few questions I'd like to ask you both from somebody that knows very little about lease options other than I've heard the term. Could you both tell me what exactly are lease options? Wendy first.
Oh, okay. Well, a lease option is when a buyer will lease a property with the right to buy it at some future time period. So usually it's a couple of years, it could be 5 years, but instead of going out and getting a mortgage, the buyer's able to pay a rental payment to the seller and then buy the property later. Is that a good way to say it, Mark?
Fantastic.
Feel free to add anything.
A lease option really is a very powerful tool, and it's something that can allow you to control property without having to buy it. And that's a huge advantage for investors today because so many can't get finance. Effectively, Mike, what you're doing is you're piggybacking on somebody else's finance. And you do that until you are in a position either to sell the property or until you can bring it into your own portfolio in a fuller sense by actually buying it. In some cases, of course, you might agree a lease option on the property where there is no finance at all. And that can be extremely powerful because you have control, but you're also purchasing the property with each monthly installment. So that's a magical way of acquiring property.
Okay, so is it the lack of finance then that is causing so much interest in this subject at this current time?
I would say that's definitely contributing to it, but there's always people that can't get a mortgage. Even if there is financing available, they might need time to maybe, repair the credit or get some additional income or save up their initial deposit. But it's always a good time. But right now, it's even more. I think it's even better right now, especially for investors because of the lack of finance.
So I started investing in lease options in 2006 here in the UK, and that was a time when finance was still very available. And Wendy started way back in 1950. Years and years ago. Wendy actually has she has masses of experience, and that's what's so exciting about working with Wendy and talking with Wendy, is that she's so well qualified. She has this huge longevity with lease options. And so she's living evidence, really, that lease options can be used in any market at any time.
So if the two of you have been actively involved in lease options yourself for quite a few years now, I guess that really does make you both experts in lease options.
Well, we don't particularly enjoy blowing any trumpets, but we do have 29 years and more than 750 deals between us, yes.
Right, okay.
Oh, I'd definitely say that you were qualified to pass on some information then.
We enjoy teaching and sharing.
Do lease options work the same in the UK as they do in the USA then?
Yeah, they're very, very similar. You have a couple of things in the UK that are a little bit different than we do in the US, but in general they work exactly the same way. And it's always the same type of sellers that want to sell with the lease option. It works the same for investors, and it really works pretty much the same for buyers that would maybe buy from us later.
Okay, oh, right. Yeah. So, I mean, realistically then, just how powerful a tool are lease options for investors to use?
They're extremely powerful. A wise man once said that with a lever long enough and a point on which to balance it, he could move the earth. And lease options, they give you massive leverage because you can acquire property and you can generate cash flow on a monthly basis. You can either do that in a structured in a slow drip way, if you like. So for each property, you might be earning something in the region of £200 or £300 a month. Or what you can do is generate cash flow by selling the lease option deals to other investors for a chunk of money up front. So it really depends on what you want to achieve with property. But they are so flexible that they can help you to achieve any goal that's reasonable, as long as you're willing to take action.
Yes.
I'll take it it's the taking action that's the most important part.
And the most difficult part.
Yeah. I mean, can people make a significant amount of money using lease options?
Depends on what you would consider significant, but I would say yes, you certainly could. You know,
Yeah, the raising of Mark's eyebrows gave that one away. Yeah.
Yeah, he goes. You know, they're very powerful strategies to make a lot of money. You know, you might make £5,000 on a simple, quick one that you're going to be done with, or you might make £40,000 to £100,000. I mean, it's all negotiable, and it depends on the price range of the property, where it's located, how you've structured it, seller situation. I think that's pretty good. I don't know what you think.
Yeah. I mean, would it work for, say, a vendor that was in negative equity?
There's been a lot of discussion about this, I think, amongst UK investors, because what we see very often is lease options being taught as if they are the panacea, as if they are good for all sorts of sellers. Wendy and I help investors understand that there are better ways to use lease options, and it doesn't have to be complicated. Of course, you can use lease options with sellers who are in negative equity, and there are some instances where that would be a good business decision. But there can be other instances where there are better deals. So you need to look at your own strategy, you need to look at the whole picture, and then make a qualified decision, an educated decision on that. But certainly I personally wouldn't say that lease options are best suited in every instance to use with negative equity property.
Right.
Okay. I would be very cautious of that. Yeah. You know, it's setting yourself up. I think as an investor, when you start with negative equity, you've started in a hole, and you've got to dig your way out of that before you even make your first amount of profit. And I think that's a dangerous way to invest.
So can you use options for both buying and selling?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So it's
a lot of buyers.
And so do you, when you teach people, do you teach them the both sections for the buying and the selling, or are you only really experts in the buying?
We teach both. Definitely.
Yes,
I think there's a huge opportunity for both. We teach investors how to work with vendors, how to find the vendors, how to negotiate those deals, but also how to sell that property to a buyer. So yes, and we both do buying and selling.
Right. Okay.
Well, it certainly sounds like interesting stuff.
Yeah. I mean, where can we find out more?
That's a good question. There's a whole load of information, really good information, on our website, which is www.leaseoptionsmadesimple.co.uk. But you know, we have a very exciting event coming up too.
Oh, right. Okay. When's this?
We have an event in May, I think it's May 14th, 15th in London. And
okay, so
it's
that's
going
the Saturday
to be,
and Sunday, yes?
Yes, it's a 2-day event that will incorporate lease options and some other investment strategies that can be used in today's market.
Brilliant. Okay. Right. Well, we shall see you there. Right.
Great.
Thank you very much. Wendy Patton and Mark Jackson from Lease Options Made Simple. The event is May the 14th and 15th. That's a Saturday and Sunday. And they can find out more details at Mark. Where can they find out more details?
Lease Options Made Simple, and you'll see a little event tab. Just hit on that with full confidence, And it'll give you all of that information you need to find out how to meet up with us in person in London, May 14th and 15th. We'd be delighted to see you there.
Brilliant. Right, Mark Jackson, Wendy Patton, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.